Welcome to Entre News, a production of the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship.
Hello again, and welcome to the nifty Entre News podcast. I'm your host, Dr. J.D. LaRocque, the president and CEO of NFTE, the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. And I'm joined today by an incredible young entrepreneur and NFTE alumnus, Jayden Freeman. Jayden, so glad to have you with us. How are you doing?
I'm good. Everything is good. Just trying to enjoy my summer. How about you?
Well, about the same, but it's busy for the both of us, I'm sure. And I have to say, you are one of our most distinguished alumni. In fact, your name is literally in the book of guests at the New York Stock Exchange. We're going to get to that. But I want to start at the beginning with your story. Tell us about yourself. Tell us how you first got involved with NFTE. You are a student in Miss Mackey's classroom at Stanford High School in Connecticut. What has that journey been like for you?
It's actually funny because my entrepreneurship course was my first ever high school course that I took. It was first period in my schedule. So definitely it was a positive shock coming in, meeting Miss Mackey, being someone that would prove to be such a good friend of mine, and actually taking her courses later in my high school career. But definitely it was amazing to have someone super helpful right off the bat and kind of allow me to foster my passion for business. She and Miss Judy Stewart, another NFTE volunteer, no, it was definitely great.
That's fantastic. And, for our viewers out there and viewers who are familiar with the NFTE community will know the names Miss Mackey and Judy Stewart. So Miss Mackey, one of our longest standing NFTE teachers at Stanford High School in Connecticut, and Judy Stewart, also a New York and Connecticut based volunteer, one of our really standout volunteers. So what a great opportunity for you to be exposed to both of them. So you competed in the Mid-Atlantic Youth Entrepreneurship Challenge, and you placed second with your business called Smart Shot. Tell us more about that idea. How did it come to you, and what problem were you hoping to solve for athletes?
So Smart Shot is essentially a ball with the chip inside paired with the sensor that you put in a goal to help you work on your finishing, which in soccer terms is just shooting. So after you shoot the ball, it tracks the different statistics of the ball, the speed, the curve angle, the dip, and other statistics. So the business idea came to me because I wanted to fuse my passion for business with my passion for soccer, as it was soccer season during the fall when I competed in the competition. So the problem that I wanted to solve was my lack of ability to finish. I wanted to create a product that allowed me to work on my finishing and allowed others to work on their finishing as well.
Now, is this idea that you applied it to soccer, but is it applicable in theory to lots of other sports as well?
Oh no, definitely. I also play basketball as well. So if you put the chip in a basketball and put the sensor under the hoop per se, you could look at the rotation of your shot, the angle which you shoot at, and definitely can improve your shooting in that way too as well.
I can easily see how this idea is useful for amateur and student athletes. Of course, I happen to be a big baseball fan. And when you watch a baseball game on TV, and even when you watch on the big screen at the stadium, they'll show the velocity of the pitch and the angle of the pitch and the way it broke. And of course, these tools are readily available to professional athletes, but for amateur athletes and student athletes, not so much. And that's part of what you were trying to address, correct?
Exactly.
So, what else did you learn about this process of developing a business idea? What did you learn about yourself? What more did you learn about entrepreneurship and you as an individual?
Two things definitely stuck with me, that being the ability to think within the entrepreneurial mindset and the mindset of perseverance. The idea of Smart Shot did not come to me immediately, as I had to look at many different options and many different ideas that weren't necessarily plausible. Not giving up and pursuing an idea that was meaningful to me but also plausible was definitely something that stuck with me. And then definitely thinking within the entrepreneurial mindset, learning to identify different ideas and opportunities and use critical thinking skills to pursue those opportunities.
I mean, what you cite, I think, is really important for any entrepreneur and any person. We often say at NFTE that the difference between a successful entrepreneur and somebody else is simply perseverance, that you have to go through many, many versions of an idea or many different ideas to find the one that really sticks. But through that process, you actually did that. So, all right, let's go to what I think was a hallmark moment of your spring. I know it was definitely a hallmark moment of my spring. That day when we were both at the New York Stock Exchange and Nifty and you personally got to ring the closing bell at the New York Stock Exchange. I was so pleased to stand there right next to you, but you got to push that button and ring that bell. So, tell our audience what that was like.
Well, first of all, it was definitely an immense honor, and I had a great time. But yes, it's a unique experience I'll remember for the rest of my life, something that I'll think back on and look at the memorabilia that I picked up. But yes, it was a day of many firsts. It was my first time at Wall Street and at the Nifty HQ, which is definitely amazing, I would say. My first time at the stock exchange and on the trading floor, and of course, my first time ringing the closing bell. So yes, but in all seriousness, it was exhilarating to be up on the podium and ringing the bell. I remember the nervousness that filled my body when I was trying not to mess up the timing and signing the book of distinguished guests. So, but yes, it was definitely an amazing experience and a huge honor.
Let's talk about signing that book. So one of the things that really stood out to me were all of the rituals surrounding the closing bell ceremony at the stock exchange. So before you even do that and you go up on the little podium and you press the button that rings the bell, you go to this marble table, big marble table where this ornate book that everybody who I guess opens and closes, rings the opening and closing bell, signs. And so you are a part of New York Stock Exchange history. What was it like to sign your name to that book, knowing that literally hundreds of years worth of people, entrepreneurs and CEOs and investors and movers and shakers, are also in that book with you? What does it feel like to be part of that history?
Definitely very, very cool to think about the fact that my name is in the New York Stock Exchange Book of Distinguished Guests, along with so many other notable people, just as you said. But it's definitely amazing to represent such an amazing organization that does so much for so many students and that has done so much for me. Yes, like I said before, I was focusing so hard trying not to ruin my signature and not forget any letters of my name, but a huge honor. And it's a full circle moment with my involvement with Nifty.
So you just graduated high school, correct?
Yes, sir.
And now you're headed to the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. First of all, congratulations. It is not easy to get into Wharton. Tell us about that. How did your Nifty experience prepare you for what you're about to do?
I'm definitely super excited for the next 4 years at Penn and for the opportunity to study at Wharton. It is an amazing opportunity. Besides fostering my passion for business since my freshman year and providing me with amazing mentors, Nifty has taught me to adopt a mindset of perseverance, like I said before, and definitely think outside the box. As I stated before, coming up with my business idea was definitely not something that was a straightforward process. I was met with many roadblocks, and this experience taught me to not give up when I hit roadblocks, which is definitely something that translates not only to college, but just to life in general. And then operating within the entrepreneurial mindset, identifying opportunities, taking initiative, and like I said before, critical thinking are all skills that will definitely help me at Wharton and in life in general. These concepts and skills are not only learned through creating my business presentation, but through the people I've come into contact with at Nifty. And like you said before, ringing the bell and the gala and definitely many other things. The Nifty people are amazing. But yes.
Are you familiar with the University of Pennsylvania? Is it this kind of a new environment to you? What are you looking forward to?
Oh no, it's definitely a new environment. The Admitted Students Day was actually my first time ever getting on campus. I've only ever heard about Penn and about Wharton and all these amazing things. But yeah, it's definitely a new environment. I've not been to Philly as much as I should, being so close in Stanford. But no, I'm just excited to study with amazing, like-minded peers and top-notch faculty.
Well, here's some good news. There's a strong Nifty community in Philadelphia as well. So if you ever need a community of people outside your university, there's one right there in Philly for you. You know, I just gave a commencement speech myself at a high school in Queens, one of our big schools in New York City. And I was, thinking about the advice I would give them. Of course, these are all rising college students, and some are going to the military, but they're all graduating high school, just like you just did. And I was talking to them about how important it is to really continue to discover who you are and what you're passionate about. Because I personally believe, and I think we at Nifty all believe, that if you can really understand who you are and what motivates you, and drives you, both in terms of your personality, but also your interests, that oftentimes those things become the foundation for a successful career and a happy life. I wonder what advice you would give to high school students like you who have just graduated.
The main piece of advice I have for students starting NFTE this fall is to take advantage of the wonderful opportunity that is being given and to truly apply what is being learned. The lessons and skills learned are invaluable, so definitely keeping them with you proved to be very meaningful to me and can be will be very meaningful, to students taking NFTE. On top of this, there are so many amazing opportunity that this wonderful organization offers. So being engaged and staying in contact with the people that you meet definitely would be the main piece of advice I have.
Well, we definitely want to stay in contact with you, Jayden. What is next? Do you see Smart Shot continuing on in some form? Are there other business ideas that you're thinking about? What's next for you?
When I was a freshman in high school, just after the competition, I'll tell you, Smart Shot will be on shelves just next week or just next month. I've always been keen on real estate, so I'm trying to pursue that passion of mine. So that's not necessarily Smart Shot, but definitely working as an entrepreneur in that space is something that I definitely see myself doing in the future. But sadly, I did not pursue my Smart Shot idea. I was a young freshman, not really thinking that far in advance.
It's actually quite common for nifty students to, start off with one idea, but then pursue something else. And it's interesting to hear you say that real estate is something that you're interested in. Perhaps our most notable big alumnus these days is someone in the real estate field, Robert Refkin, who is the founder and CEO of Compass, which is the real estate platform, as you may know. And then we have another recent alumnus who's made it big, Ryan Williams, who until recently had a real estate investing platform called Cadre. But I can actually think of many, many nifty students over the years who have taken their entrepreneurial mindset and applied it to real estate. So you're actually forging, if you go down this path, you're forging a well-worn path for nifty students. And once again, our nifty community can be a resource for you. Well, anything you'd like to add before we close up for today?
There's not much, but I just want to thank Nifty for all they've done for me, and definitely being instrumental in fostering my passion for business and helping shape who I am today and the path I'm taking in life, to be honest.
Well, Jayden, you are a shining example of what can happen when a young person finds their passion and steps up in the moment. And you looked really great up there on the stock exchange. I know it was a fun day for you. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll be cheering you on at Wharton and beyond.
Thank you, most definitely.
All right, and viewers, thank you very much for joining us today. We appreciate your continued loyalty, and once again, join us for the next episode of Entre News. Take care.
Entre News is a production of the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. For more information, visit NFTE.com. Our theme song was produced by Sounds Like an Earful. To learn more, visit soundslikeanearful.com.